Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your angel and spirit guide message reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. So let's dive into this reading and see what your angels and your spirit guides have to say for this time. I'm going to be starting with starting as always with your spirit guide animal cards. These are your totem animals for this time. So if you see these animals in the wild or you see an image of these animals, this is your angels and your spirit guides, Aries, tapping you on the shoulder saying, remember this message. So angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Oh, okay, so these two definitely want to be heard. Oh, three, actually. All right, so we have here the dove spirit, be peace. Then we have the hawk spirit, let spirit be your guide. And we have the beaver spirit, lay a solid foundation. I like that. I like that you have two birds. This is really showing you taking flight, moving forward, going after what you desire, what you want, what you need. Let me move that over just a bit more for you guys. All right, and now let's see what your chakra cards have to say. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. So we have here the crown chakra, spiritual awakening, and we have the root chakra, family. Now the tarot. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Show me clearly. So at the center of everything, we have the Queen of Athames, the Queen of Swords. This is an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius. You are crowned by the Five of Chalices, the Five of Cups, the Page of Chalices, which is a water sign energy, a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Cancer. You have the Knight of Athames, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Chalices, so you are definitely taking this gift of love. The Star card, which is beautiful, is strong Aquarius energy linked with the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords. It is a very strong Aquarius energy here. And then we have the Five of Wands. The Knight of Wands, which is you shining forward in this reading. Yeah, that's beautiful, Aries. The Two of Chalices and the Page of Wands. So you are a seeker and you are a defender during this time. So that's going to be really where a lot of your energy focuses, because you are diving deeply into something. And there's a sense here of defending your mind, defending your passion, really looking at your intuitive self and needing things to be in harmony. As you are moving forward, there is going to be a time where it's like you're looking at it wrong, and there's going to be something that is happening around you where it's like, I'm looking at the situation wrong, or I am too angry to really look at the situation correctly. So you have the Five of Chalices here, and it bleeds right into the Five of Wands, where you're looking at things and there's this internal chaos, or there can be this very big draw to go towards the negative, to go towards the anger, to go towards the fire, the hurt, the pain, and really stoke that up, really say, this is truth. Because there is a lot of truth in pain. There is a lot of truth in what cuts people to the bone. But does it really need to be said? And you could be dealing with a person like this. It could be an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, an Aquarius, or somebody who is very blunt. They could be just a very blunt person. They're just kind of saying it as they see it. And it can just be just the wrong thing at the exact right time that's coming forward. Or it can be that you're looking at things, and as you are taking control of your mind, you are seeing what it is that you desire, because you're really looking towards the stars. And the stars, for us human beings, it's the highest form of perfection. So here you're really looking at the stars, you're looking at what you wish for, what you want, what you desire. You're looking for a little bit of perfect. And yes, perfection absolutely changes. There's no such thing as always getting exactly what you want, because it'll always change, it'll always morph. But you're on that road. You really, really are. And the mind and the heart is coming together in a very real way for you, which is very powerful. Now, your spirit animal cards, right? We start off with the beaver spirit. It says, lay a solid foundation. Why is that important? Because spirit is guiding you. Let spirit be the guide that it wants to be in your life. Let it take you to places that you couldn't really understand before or didn't think could be yours. And as you do so, be peace, be love, be calm, be grace. And let that peace be a part of you. Because if you're looking at things during this time, Aries, and it's going to be very easy to sit there and say, I'm laying this foundation, I'm building this, this greatness, I am conquering, because you have that ruler energy to you. You have that force, that power to you that is spectacular. But it can become a bit all-encompassing, just as all of our personality traits can be. And so here, with the beaver spirit, it's like, lay your solid foundation, but make sure it is bedded in your truth, in your peace, in your heart, in spirit's light. Because as you do so, you're moving towards a spiritual awakening. You're moving towards really seeing what's absolutely important to you. And as you move to the spiritual awakening, as you embrace the spiritual awakening, you have family. Now, it can be that family is number one important to you, or the people who have become like family in your life. It's your root chakra, it's your rooted self, it's your desire, it's your hope, it's your joy. And as you're looking at things, you're looking at what you want. You're being very open and honest with yourself. So during this time here, Aries, you might find yourself very drawn to it's to writing things out, it's to working things out, it's to kind of divulging secrets. So just know that about you. You might sit there and say, oh, well, this is something I've been carrying for a really long time. I want to release it in a very honest, very real way for myself. Keeping an angel journal would be one of the best ways to do that, or to just be talking to your angels in your head. You could be talking out loud, but you could also be talking quietly if you don't really want to divulge things, because isn't there that old saying that two can keep a secret when one of them is dead? Like, you don't want to sit there and put yourself in this vulnerable situation is what I'm really seeing. And so needing to work these out, it can also be with somebody. It can be talking to a professional where you're working out what needs to be released, what has been kind of held back, because you're moving towards your truth. You're moving in your power. And the Queen of Swords is like, no one is going to get in my way. I speak my truth. I live my truth. And I have worked hard for where I stand. And that's very much you during this time. It's like, I have worked for this. I am driven towards this truth, this power, this knowledge. And it moves you to the Two of Cups. It moves you to the Minor Arcana Lovers card. It moves you to love and balance and joy and happiness and this sense of success being around you. And as it does, you have the Five of Chalices crowning you. And the Five of Chalices is saying, the Five of Cups is saying, change your mind, change your life. Change what you are looking towards and change what you are looking at. What is truly important to you? Are you going to look at the negative and say, well, that's just my existence? Are you going to turn it around, look at the Two of Cups, which, okay. So in this line, it goes the Five of Chalices, the Page of Chalices, and the Two of Cups. So you change your mind, you change your life. You start to become a student of your love, of your joy, of your success, of your prosperity, of your heart. And as you do so, you're opening yourself up to that love. Now, it can be calling love into your life. You might really want a romantic relationship, and one is starting to come. With quarantining and everything that's going on, it's a bit difficult, right? But with the Two of Cups, you're moving towards there. It's like, you have time, don't worry. And as you are moving forward, and you might laugh at that, for some of you Aries, you might sit there and say, clock's a ticking, and that really does make sense. But Be kind to yourself. Do not put this added stress, because once you take the stress off of you, you're going to find that the power moves with you and is a part of you in a very real and a very profound way. And as you change your mind, you change your life, you start moving forward. I mean, you start moving forward and saying, but this is what I need from life. This is who I am. And intuitively, I have walked away from me too often. It can be you were keeping the peace. It can be you were defending. It can be that you were trying, and what you did was you tried for everyone else, but you forgot about yourself. And it's time to move forward, looking at what you desire, what you love, what you want, what you need. And as you do so, you're taking this gift. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing you a gift of love, a gift of healing. Now, it's a gift of peace and a gift of beauty, a gift of knowing your majesty, right? The God's head that lives within you. But it's also a gift of washing away so much of the gunk that builds up within our souls, within ourselves, so much of what gets thrown at us, just because we live. Just because we live, we have ears, we see, we experience life. And there can be a part of you, Aries, that's just like, wow, this is too much. Like, what the heck? Every time I turn around, it's one thing after another, and this is not what I signed up for. But this is life, and life is messy. And with the Ace of Cups, there is this cleansing. There is this falling away of the doubts and the fears, and it can make you astoundingly emotional and feel astoundingly vulnerable. So as you are moving towards what you love, as you are embracing your soul and yourself, know that this can be a very emotional time for you. So just be aware of that, because you're moving to the Page of Wands. So as you take this gift and you take it being a student with the Page of Cups, you take it being a student, and with the Page of Wands, you're cleansing, right? You have this love coming in, you have this cleansing beauty that is a part of you, and then you're looking at what you want to create. You're looking at yourself discovering your magic, your power, your determination, your ferocity of being, and you start to see. So you're crowned with the desire to move forward. You really are. You're crowned with the sense of, this is my life, and I get to live my life. Now, yes, we have responsibilities. Yes, we have, everything that accumulates as we live, but forgetting about your soul, forgetting about your passion, forgetting about you is something that your angels and your spirit guides are saying, it will make you resentful. And that's just logic. It will make you resentful because it feels like you're swallowing it back until you just become a volcano. And so here you're studying your magic, you're studying your power, you're studying your beauty, you're seeing where it is that you stand. And I like this little kind of like golden-haired boy. You could sit there and think he grows up to be that red-headed man, just that sense of knowing your passion, knowing your power, and being able to embrace what you love. And that's what I see for you. And there's this masculine energy around you, of course, because you're represented by the Emperor, but because you're really looking at, moving forward, having this passion, this power, getting things done within your life in a very real and concrete way. And not to say that that's simply masculine, but that's the energy that's around you at this time. So it does have to be addressed. You move towards this Aquarius energy, right? You have a strong Aquarius presence here. This is from January 20th to February 18th. You're moving towards your soul's truth. You are. You're looking at what it is that you want the most. And the star is, when you wish upon a star, but it's also the highest form of perfection that our ancestors saw when they looked up into the night sky. First humans looked up into the night sky and they saw the stars, and they thought, wow, that's perfection. That's perfection, and I'm going to build towards it. I'm going to be guided by it. I am reaching towards this sense of what is, quite frankly, unobtainable perfection. You can never go and, take that ladder and climb it up to the moon and touch the stars. You can't. So here, there is this sense of looking at what you desire, seeing what you wish for, knowing that it could be obtained, but in a way that might be astoundingly different to the one that you have in your mind. And so as you're moving forward with the Knight of athame with the Knight of Swords. It's like you're moving towards your mind. You're moving towards yourself. You're cutting through doubts and fears. You are knowing where you stand and what you stand for. There's this huge call for action around you. And as you're moving in action, you are moving in determination. And there is this sense of, I will not be held back. I will not be lessened. I will not lose my voice, my knowledge, my truth. All right? And as you do so, as you're moving forward in this passion and in this power, you might find yourself being very kind of reactionary to things, kind of like, okay, this needs to be done and this needs to be done, so I'm just going to go for it. Make sure you take time to look at the big picture and what you truly want, because the Knight of Swords can be just a little bit impetuous, and you don't want to think, oh, okay, I'm doing the right thing, I'm moving forward in the best way for me, and it winds up not exactly being the best thing at that time. Yeah, so just be very mindful, because with that badger coming forward, it's kind of like stubbornness is looking at you, and they're like, I know you want this, I know you're hungry for it, I know you're being driven towards it, but make sure that you're not being rash or hot-headed, because you're moving towards what you love, and you have to be a student of the power that you hold. So as you are looking at things, you are going to see that your mind and your intuition are really working together. Wands, okay? So fire sign energy. You guys have, Aries, you have tremendous intuition. You have tremendous intuition and you have tremendous power. You have to listen to you. Because as you're doing things, okay, here we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is chaos. Here they're looking at dark magic, and it's kind of like, ooh, let's push the boundaries. Let's see what we can do, how we can become, how we can move forward. And there's going to be that type of temptation around things. It's like, okay, well, I can do things on the up and up, but I can also do things that are just simply right for me. And so here, it's like looking at what it is that you desire, what it is that you want, seeing the negativity within us, because there's negativity within every single human being on this earth, and really addressing the issues, really sitting there and saying, okay, why do I feel such chaos around this? Why is this making me so angry? Where is this frustration coming from? Boil it down. Boil it down, because you're connecting with your heart. And why is that important? I believe full-heartedly that we are emotional beings. And as emotional beings, we have to connect to our hearts. All right? So if we don't connect to our hearts, we can sit there and think, oh, I'm just logic. I'm just simply logic. And that's cool. But have you ever met people who are just logic? They're just simply logical, and there's like something a little bit off about them because they don't have that emotional aspect. They're like, well, this was logical and that was done. And you sit there and you're like, oh, especially if you're a person who already is naturally just very ruled by the heart, you'll sit there and be like, oh, okay, that's not really for me. But as you open up your heart, and it's not being ruled by your emotions, it's having that conversation between your emotions and your mind. It doesn't mean that one doesn't take over the other and you don't have your bad days or your arguments or, anything like that. We're not talking about perfection here. We're talking about being human. And so as you're looking at things, your heart has to talk to your mind. And as your heart talks to your mind, you start to see yourself becoming more comfortable, really following your emotional truth, following your emotional self, which really lets your intuition soar like nothing else. Okay, to be one of those benevolent rulers who sits there and says, well, I just knew that that was a bad idea. I knew that, I could find the person's logic. I knew that I could see where they were coming from if I asked this question or I did that. It makes you the benevolent ruler of your life, which is what you strive to be, Aries. And you're very hard on yourself when you're not. You're just kind of like, if I could do everything perfectly, that'd be great. And it's like, yeah, of course it would be. But, hindsight is 20/20. And sometimes we make mistakes. And they're not really mistakes. They get us to exactly where we need to be, but in a way that we hadn't really expected. And then the Page of Cups is love and joy and success and learning about this. It's like, how do I move forward? How do I embrace love in my life? Where is it that I want to be? What is it that I desire? And you're becoming a student of your heart, of what your heart creates and of what your passion creates, of what your study, what your, dedication brings forward, what lights your fire. And so these two aspects are going to be very, very prominent in yourself as you move towards the path that you want. It's not the path of least resistance. It is the path of your truth, which actually, for some of you Aries, is going to feel like the path of most resistance. And you're really going to doubt, Will I ever get to the place that I want to be? Will I ever have the love that I want within my life? Will I ever have the security that I want within my life? Will I ever have the peace that I want within my life? The answer is yes, but it is a journey. It is a journey. And so to be kind to yourself is going to be very important. Again, Aquarius time period, which is of next year, January 20th to February 18th. Now that could be of 2021. That could be of this year, with everything that has happened. There could have been a huge catalyst for you during the beginning of the year. But there is a change that I see a lot of you moving towards. There is something more that is coming, illuminating your way, bringing you forward. So be mindful of that. Be mindful that you're heading towards, okay, so you're moving forward. You're becoming a student of your heart. You're moving. Like, this is a time where you're sitting there and saying, I will not stay as I once was. You start to become a student of your heart. You start to become a student of your emotions. You're really starting to connect with your emotional self and your emotional truth. This brings you to being a queen of swords, okay? So I have a friend, and his words just came into my head. So he always reads the Queen of Swords as somebody rather negative. And I sit here and I tell him, I was like, that's rather rude. But he's like, this is how I read the cards. So we disagree with that. The Queen of Swords for him is somebody who's cunning, who's rather blunt, who, just kind of says it like it is and doesn't care. And that can be an aspect of you that starts coming up. All right. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying that as you're opening up so much, in order to deal with all the emotion that is coming your way, there can be this sense of, I need to step back. I need to distance myself from this situation. I need to be a bit cold. So you might see that in yourself. You might see that in somebody who is around you, who's just emotionally had enough. They've had enough. This could be somebody that you know about them having enough, or somebody in your life where you have no idea, you're not that close, you don't really want to know, type of thing. Do not let this person, if it's an outside person, keep you from moving forward in your knowledge and in your truth. But also, with this being you, all right, with you running into a difficulty where it's like, how do I open my heart? How do I move forward without being flooded by emotions that just seem to never stop? You open that communication between your heart and your mind, and you let yourself, it's kind of like you let yourself actually connect with what it is that you want, what's making you so angry, what is, holding you back. Because once you do, the sky's the limit. You start to see you're reaching for the stars. You're reaching for absolute powerful truth and absolute powerful blessings that change the game for you. Other people might not see it as a game changer. You definitely do. Your subconscious message is the Two of Swords. You have the repeat of the number 2 here. So communication is key. You have a repeat of the Knights and you have a repeat of the Pages. So there's this sense of moving forward, going after, really being proactive and defensive towards what it is that you want, like defending what it is that you want, studying, learning, getting messages from Spirit. 5 is a freedom number. 5 is also issues get resolved rather easily, more easily than you had thought. And the repeat of number 2 is communication, opening up of the heart, understanding, looking at, here, it's looking at 2 pathways. And you see 2 roads really open to you. You're going to see something more powerful for you start to open up, something more right. And it's like, wow, I never thought that would be my path. I never thought that would be my truth. It could be something very small, but it's going to be deeply meaningful for you. It then moves you to the chakra cards, your subconscious chakra message, which is creativity, which is the sacral chakra. This is releasing a lot of negativity from this life and from past lives. This is where a lot of sexual energy is also held within the sacral chakra, but also within the root chakra. So here it can be releasing scars of negativity. It can be around sexual encounters. It can be around the relationships that you've seen in your family or your friends, or relationships that you've had where you're sitting there and you're like, I cannot carry around this burden anymore, and this will not be my truth. And so you then have this flow and this influx of creative energy, which can be astoundingly arousing. It really can be. So make sure that you're looking at what it is that what you truly want, what you truly want to create, and where you're focusing your energy, what you're focusing on and for. This then leads you to the subconscious spirit animal message, which is the stag spirit. Take that leap. Also, embrace your majesty. Embrace your power, embrace your purpose, embrace your truth, and take that leap towards what you absolutely desire and what you truly want. All right, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Bye.